The sprint race in Spa was a Spa. It was a beautiful Spa. And I enjoyed it, and we can have a good preview of what will happen tomorrow. Now, the tire, we don't know yet from what we saw today how it's going to work, but it shows that naturally some cars would have a big switch tomorrow. The results today cannot be like tomorrow because there will be a big change. A lot of things will happen tomorrow that will change the way the race will run tomorrow, and I can tell you for sure that it's going to be a very interesting race tomorrow. You don't want to miss the race tomorrow. It's going to be very interesting, and at the end of the day, what you might not want to enjoy is this: how the whole race will switch up. What am I saying switch up is we're going to see a lot of tumblings because a lot of people will make adjustments, and a lot of teams are going to see where they really are and understand that they got lucky yesterday and today, but it will not be the same because tire will play a great role. Weather, there's a possibility of rain for the tomorrow race, and Spa is a very dangerous place with rain, although it has some great places that you can have similarities of them with Silverstone, which you can have rain somewhere and have dry land somewhere. On some part of the track, especially the turn 1 to turn 4, it can be very dangerous, and I hope it is going to give us a good day tomorrow. Not so much rain. It will rain very early from what we heard, from around 8 a.m. to around 10 a.m. and the rain should stop, so the track should be drying up. It should be like a green track, everybody. But it's going to be interesting. That's one thing for sure that you're going to enjoy tomorrow. We saw from yesterday that the Red Bull are having a good feel of the car. They are so fast and powerful in the straight, but on the corners not so powerful because of their low downforce swing, in which the McLaren have a very fast car on fast corners. The McLarens are a little bit more faster than the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Now, how did they play out today? Immediately, Max Verstappen was able to overtake Oscar Piastri by turn 4. The race was a go for him and was a hand for Oscar Piastri. Max Verstappen drove a beautiful race. This is one of his best driving I've seen. He was driving a car that is not as fast as the McLaren and could keep the McLarens behind him for 15 whooping laps. That is a beautiful drive from Max Verstappen. It shows the heart of a champion, and with Laurent Marquez in the team, he's trying to give himself a boost and Laurent Marquez a boost to tell everybody that he's so engrossed to the team. He loves the project. He wants to be part of the project with Laurent Marquez, and that is what he did today. He drove a beautiful race, kept the McLaren boys behind him and shot it out, gave it a good for it all, and won beautiful sprint race for them. But I think it will be different tomorrow because, like I said, tires will change, weather might change it, and strategy might switch and might change the whole thing. Laurent Marquez today saw a potential gain in using strategies or things that he has learned from his sister team, a lower team, because the lower team struggles more. The higher team doesn't have too much to do, so he has a lot of learnings to bring to Red Bull, and I think this should be a new marriage for Max Verstappen and Red Bull that might get them into a beautiful and one treacherous and tortuous and gorgeous future that might be a new role in Formula One. Now, great one for Max Verstappen, like I said. Now, it happens for his teammates to know that George Russell was behind Tsunoda all through the race. He could not overtake him. George Russell took a place from his position. He was right behind that Red Bull all through the race. He was just gaining right behind him and could not overtake him because that is a treacherous straight line speed that the Red Bull had, and it is uncommon. That low downforce swing was just out there doing its job for them. So for the Ferrari, Charles Leclerc was able to jump Lando Norris. Lando Norris got him back, and since then, it shows that Ferrari are still about 3 to 4 tenths behind McLaren. Though the McLaren were fighting the Red Bull ahead, but there's a pace in the car, but they are still 3 to 4 tenths behind in Belgium. What of other tracks? He could not just close in. He was just there. He was just running his own race, while the top 3 were running their own race. Nearly Lando Norris overtook him. It shows that the McLaren are fast, very fast, but the low downforce swing of the Red Bull was uncompromisably doing the job for Max Verstappen. To the Mercedes struggled. Kimi Antonelli was behind Lewis Hamilton all through until the last lap. Did a lot of trial overtakes but could not because Lewis Hamilton struggled through the race, was complaining about the ref since yesterday. And one thing about races, either sprint race or main races, during the qualifying, when you are locked in, you are locked in. And he was locked in on that locking rear wheel, and that ended his qualifying potential why he snapped yesterday. And all through the race today, he was struggling with the rear. The front was not correlating. And this is a new update that Ferrari just brought and shows that the upgrade is not yet upgrading for him. His teammate has gotten some big jump on the upgrade. Maybe because he's used to Ferrari, and maybe because Lewis is new. Maybe these are maybe. Let's see what he's able to do. And remember, you can overtune the car and the car just go blazes. You don't see the car again. So let's see what he does. And to Carlos Sainz, what a great one for him. Oliver Bierman, Ocon. Wow, the As did a great job today. They showed the dominance, having a great straight line speed and kept others behind them. Ocon kept Carlos Sainz behind him. Bierman kept about 14 other drivers behind him to show them that, see, I'm the chairman here. And remember, they did it 2023 in Saudi Arabia. They did the same thing, keeping people behind them, and they were able to achieve that and get some maximum points today. And that was a great racing for them. To Gasly, Colapinto started from pit lane, adjusting his car during back family, but Pierre Gasly was unable to start the race. Engine issue, which would have started it. Good point position for him to get some decent point today, but he was unable to do because the Alpine looks faster in race pace. We saw the Yuki Tsunoda's Red Bull stuck behind Liam Lawson's Racing Bull all through the race, so something is still up around that place. I think they need to work on it. But what a great sprint race it was, and I enjoyed it, and I think you guys enjoyed it. Meet you guys during the main qualifying. You guys are not going to miss it, and the race tomorrow is going to be a banger. Don't miss it. I love you guys. Bye. Chee. What a pole position for Lando Norris. What a qualifying it was. Getting back to race 13 in Belgium with a lot of up teams bringing upgrades. And I said earlier that it's going to be a different race than we expect. It's not that the front row might change, like the McLarens will not be McLarens, Max Verstappen will not be Max Verstappen, but we are going to see a new dynamic in the way the teams run, especially the rest of the team, Mercedes, Ferrari, and other teams. And we can see that it's coming up for so many teams, and they are really looking strong. The way those teams are looking, they are looking very strong and very competitive. Now to Ferrari, I think it's still like a shame though. I would say it's a new upgrade. They've not really gotten it, but Lewis Hamilton out yesterday, Q1. Lewis Hamilton out today, Q1. His being out today is due to his own fault, like we saw. He was under pressure. Who put him under pressure? The team puts him under pressure. If he was not under pressure, he would not be driving at that rate and 4 hours out on the blue line, and you're just out of it. And that was how he was out of qualifying. It was just some thousands behind his teammates, and that looks as if he's going to have a very good qualifying, but that was gone into shambles. So I believe a lot of problems Ferrari are having, and they need to sort out. I can't just keep identifying their problems because they brought upgrades, and those upgrades, since they've been bringing upgrades, it was only in Silverstone that we thought they worked. In the sprint race today, we saw they were 4/10 off the pace. Now, how do they comprehend with their upgrades? Mercedes were far off today. Mercedes were not better. Antonelli out in Q1 again, like I said earlier, and George Russell struggling to keep up with the rest of the team. Though the race will be different, everybody will start on different tires to gain positions, but it's going to be a G-Buck banger for Mercedes to pull out anything string tomorrow, because it still looks like Lewis Hamilton could still come from behind that 16th position that is still starting tomorrow, because it was from 6th to 16th in SQ1 when they found out the line infringement. He could still go ahead of George Russell tomorrow. I'm telling you, that is what I am seeing, because the Mercedes is not just looking like a car that can compete tomorrow. Today they were not a car that can compete. George Russell was just behind. He was behind Yuki Tsunoda all through. Yes, Yuki Tsunoda now have 90% upgrade of what Max Verstappen is having, and I think we can see how it's shaping up for him in the sprint race today. So looking at what he can do, I think there are more things I believe he can do, because Yuki Tsunoda is a great racer, and with Laurent Marquez there trying to push him, I think we might see a better Yuki Tsunoda trying to race, because he trusts Laurent Marquez. He's worked with him for over 3-4 years, and Laurent Marquez, I think, is bringing a good luck to Red Bull. But let's see how that marriage works. But Max Verstappen still owns the car. The car is looking perfect in his hand, though not as fast as what he used to have, but the car is looking perfect in his hand. The Racing Bulls, yes, both Racing Bulls in Q3. That is a wonderful qualifying for them. Liam Lawson has upped his game. He's looking so good. Alex Albon getting into Q3 is a great one for Alex Albon also. And also, don't be left out with these young G's. I'm talking about Bortoleto. The qualifying for Bortoleto, qualifying 10th. The Ferrari power unit is showing some decency recently, because we can see yesterday the two As in SQ3. Now we are having a Ferrari powered engine aside from Ferrari. Bortoleto as in that Sauber in Q3, which is good, though it still looks like a long way for them, but they are looking crispy, they are looking perfect, they are looking fine. And we can also see, when you look at it carefully and critically, the two teammates Norris and Piastri are doing a perfect job. They are really dragging themselves, pushing themselves to the limit to see that they can make a good one out of the car, and they are pushing. It's just about 8,000 tenths between the two in qualifying, giving a 3 tenths gap to Charles Leclerc. Then Max Verstappen Verstappen starting behind Charles Leclerc is going to be a big one tomorrow. You don't want to miss it. I can still see that some of the struggles of the Mercedes is coming from some part of the upgrades. I think Mercedes needs to work on their suspension because everybody is pin up, and you can see the midfield are bunching up, is really driving towards the front runners. Gasly doing a perfect job, doing a great job, and it's going to be a big one. We have Lando Norris, Piastri, Leclerc. In the order, Russell, Aja, Lawson, Tsunoda, Albon, Bortoleto, to Ocon, Bierman, Gasly. Good qualifying for the Haas, 11-12. It's going to be hot. Gasly 13th, Hulkenberg 14th. That's massive. And Carlos Sainz 15th. Carlos Sainz and Lewis Hamilton will be side by side, rubbing shoulders tomorrow. One present Ferrari driver and ex-Ferrari driver. They'll be rubbing shoulders tomorrow. And Colapinto, Antonelli 18th, Alonso and Last Stroll. The Aston Martin backbenching. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be massive. But you don't want to miss it. Get to watch the analysis first, because I'll break down a lot of things after the race tomorrow. You're going to love it. Congrats to Lando Norris for picking the pole position. Congrats to Max Verstappen for winning the sprint race. It's going to be a good race tomorrow. The rain will fall, but I'm not sure the rain will fall during the race. The rain will fall ahead of the race, but you don't want to miss it. Catch you guys tomorrow after the race. I love you guys. Bye. Cheers.